Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this content, I am going to discuss SQL Server powerful feature query store. The SQL Server query store is a powerful feature SQL 2060 and above that keep tracking of query runtime execution and query execution plan, monitoring and analyzing the performance of a query and showing the result in a report. What is query store? Query store automatically capture a history of a query, plan and runtime, track performance history, troubleshoot query plan related issue. Find the most expensive query for a CPU IO memory. Get a full history of a query execution. Quickly find the performance regression and fixing it by forcing the previous query plan. And how many times a query was executed in the given range of a time. The SQL Server query store is per database label. It means that it can be enabled on a SQL database separately. You can enable by using SQL Server Management Studio or TSQL. It is not an instance level setting. Let's connect with SQL Server Management Studio to show you how to enable SQL Server Query Store and how to off SQL Server Query Store. To enable SQL Server Query Store for a database, you can run this command: alter a database name, set a query store on. I am going to enable SQL Server Query Store on a database Adventure Works 2019. So you can run this command, or you can right click on this database and go to properties, and you can select query store. Okay, and operation mode here you can see off. So from drop down box you can select any option like read only, read write. I am going to select read write option. Once you select it, you can see other option get activated. So you can check other options and set as per your requirement. By pressing the OK button on the database properties, the SQL Server Query Store is enabled. Okay. To confirm that SQL Server Query Store is enabled or not, so you can refresh database here and expand the database. You can see a new folder created with name as Query Store. It means query store is enabled for the database. So once enabled, then it will start collecting the query runtime statics, query execution plan, and built-in report. So you can see here 6 built-in report currently with this database. Currently, there are 6 built-in report. So regressed query, overall resources consumption, query weight statics, and top resources consuming query. So double click on a query weight statics and click on this option. You can see that plan ID for this. You can select this and click on force plan. One confirmation box will come. Do you want to force plan one for the query for? Yes. And you can see here education plan detail. So by doing this, you force SQL Server to use this education plan for a specific query. This means that SQL Server will not generate a new education plan for that query until you unforce the plan. So if you want to see top resources consuming query, just double click on this. So- and you can see here top resources consuming query. So, so if you want to force SQL Server to use this education plan for this specific query, then you have to select plan ID, force plan, and click yes. By doing this means that SQL Server will not generate a new plan for this query and it will use existing plan. So this how you can use query store to collect the query runtime statics and query execution plan, and you can make a report for that also. So if you want to make off this query store, so you can run this command alter database name set query store off. Once you run this command, the query store will not capture any information. So let make off it. You can see I have made the query store as a off, so it will not collect any information about the query. So let refresh and to verify it be made off query store to not collect statics information of the query and education plan. So go to properties here and click on query store. Here you can see the off. So this once you make off, it will not going to collect any performance related information. So this is the use of a query store. Thanks for watching SQL guide. Please share and subscribe my channel.